We can't resist it. Human beings are addicted to humanity. We can't resist it. So when we see a little dose, we jump right on, right? Although people call me an image consultant, I work on a very specific definition of image. What became clear to me as I was working with actors is this idea of image. They thought it was something you had to add on or do or emphasize, rather than what I began to discover in first my casting work that sort of fell over into what I do now, which was an image is really being able to vocalize, verbalize, take pictures of the reality of you. And as I began to explore that, I sort of discovered a technical problem that makes it difficult for people to just have that kind of be yourself authenticity that everybody asks for. And that's how the process developed. I think the thing that actors get most confused about in this whole thing of image is that idea that it's something I have to do that I'm not already. I have to be more outgoing, or I have to be funnier, or I have to be blonder. Those kinds of things, that it depends on some standard that if they could only meet that standard, then they would have the right image. It isn't something you add on. It's that discovery of what parts of you are really working in public for other people, and a kind of a combination between that outside perception and the one we each have of ourselves on the inside, and coming to that middle ground of perception is kind of where image is, and I think what people don't realize until they really begin to explore it a little bit. Nothing is more counter to your emotions rolling than sitting in a waiting room with other eager actors. For an actor, especially who's studied, gained the skills, their craftsmanship's in pretty good shape, then the issue becomes, well, is who I am enough? Don't I have to do more? Aren't they interested in star quality or that it factor or all of that? And then they begin amplifying or adding on, and of course that comes off as a little phony, and then some director or casting person says, no, just be yourself, and then this panic comes up. That idea that I'm somehow inadequate to be looked at, to be watched as myself, I think is the biggest challenge that's involved. The way I go about it is to solve a technical problem, which is the confusion happens because we each have an intense internal perception of ourselves. Of course, we have to. We live 24 hours a day with ourselves. We have all that input that parents and caregivers have put in that helps define us. And then we realize that there's an outside perception as well. And sometimes people say, oh, I think you're this way. And you go, really? I never heard that before. So as we begin to look at the differences between inside, outside perception, and that definition of public identity, and that it's a technical problem, really relieves a lot of the stress, because they go, oh, then it's solvable. Gee, it's a technical problem. Then all of a sudden they're eager to solve it, and they go right after it.